go.
Oop.
I think everybody else is on the agenda. That's the only one.
Call this regular meeting of the Park Board of Commissioners for Wednesday, March 2nd, for the City of Fall River, 2022. This meeting is being held at the City Council hearing rooms, beginning at 5:15 p.m. Reading of the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio-video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings and transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledgeable and permissible. Okay. Roll call of commissioners.
Camera's supposed to be here.
Jeffrey Sylvia.
Victor Farias.
Roll call of commissioners.
Helen Rigo.
Joseph De Silva, Commissioner Burns is absent. Acceptance of the minutes from this February 2nd, 2022 meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the
Second.
minutes.
Okay, Commissioner Farias made the motion, seconded by Commissioner Rigo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Citizen input. Looks like we have one. Chris Vining. Come on up. You have to state your name and address and reason you're here. You have 3 minutes, please.
Hello, I'm Chris Vining, 20 Bardsley Street, Fall River, Mass. I was just coming to give the board an update after our last meeting. I know we were given the go-ahead to work on the field at Dumont and at Lafayette. We've since talked to the contractor. It's going to be at least a few weeks based on the weather until they're able to have the fields be dry enough to work on. They're saying about a day to 2 days per field. And as soon as I have a concrete date, I will let you guys know. It's, like I said, it wouldn't be until probably at least a couple weeks out, so.
Just, I would like to work with Mrs. Smith, and she'll keep us all in the loop, and Mr. Perry.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other citizen input? Do we have anything sent in? Correspondence? Nope. All right. I need a motion to take items H and K.
I'll make a motion to take out items H
And K out of order.
and K out of order, yes.
Second.
Second. Commissioner Farias made the motion to take item K and H out of order, H and K out of order, sorry. Seconded by Commissioner Sylvia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. This,
You invite them down.
I know, hold on a second. So, item H is an open meeting law complaint sent by Patrick Higgins on February 2nd, 2022 regarding minutes from the January 5th meeting not containing a list of exhibits and documents used during the January 5th meeting, and the fact that as of 2/2/22, he has not yet received a response to two prior complaints dated 11/3/2021 and 11/30/2021. Item K is an open meeting law complaint sent by Patrick Higgins on February 27, 2022 regarding the Park Board lack of response to his February 2nd, 2022 open meeting law complaint within a 14 business day that's as required by law. I believe we have Attorney Rumsey here, Corporation Counsel, to respond on these. Welcome.
Alan Rumsey, Corporation Counsel for the City of Fall River. Apologize for the tire, I wasn't expecting to be here today. I just want to inform the Park Board, it's not an excuse, but just a reason, we've had a few changes in our office, we've lost a few members, so it's quite possible that these complaints have fallen through the cracks, so my apologies on that. I did speak with Mr. Higgins just about 10 minutes ago, actually, to discuss these. We're trying to figure out what needs to be responded to and what does not. It's my belief that there are two substantive complaints that may need responding to by my office. One is that this one might have actually been responded to, and neither Mr. Higgins nor myself was sure, but one that the agenda has to contain sufficient details to put the public on notice of what's going to take place. It sounds like myself and Mr. Higgins are in agreement, and I will put a formal response in writing, but his request is just that this park board is aware that the agenda has to have specificity to put the public on notice. I agree with Mr. Higgins in that contention. The other one was that the park board needs to list the exhibits within the agenda. I don't know at this point whether or not there were exhibits, but I think it's a better practice that if there are no exhibits, to still list of exhibits, none. I believe his contention is that there were actual exhibits used, so he just wanted the park board to be reminded that exhibits need to be listed. I told him I would put a response in right on that as well. I will have a written response to him by the end of this week. My hope and understanding, it was a very pleasant conversation with Mr. Higgins. I apologize. I think the untimeliness complaints will disappear once I have a written response to that. But I will obviously respond to the late response issues as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Should we just make a motion to keep this in Corporation Council's hands and
Motion to accept.
I think you have to motion to send the last one to him, because that's the
Correct.
new one. You have
So
to-
item K, is it item K, yeah. Item K, can I have a motion to, item K to send to Corporation Council?
I'll make a motion that we send item K to the Corporation Council.
I'll second it.
Okay, Commissioner Farias made the motion, Commissioner Rego seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Alrighty.
Motion to resume back to,
Right. All right, do I have a motion to go back to number 4, new business?
I'll make a motion that we resume back to new business.
Second by Commissioner Farias made a motion to resume to
Excuse
new
me,
business. Commissioner Rego already seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item A, request for funding for North Burial Perpetual Care account in the amount of 5 million, right? 5,000, sorry. Sorry, I read that wrong. $5,734.06 for a change order to North Burial North Main Street Gatehouse Restoration Project, windows and doors, hardware. Mr. Pirano, come on down.
Thank you. So this is the change order we spoke about at the last meeting. The project is pretty much done. Overall, it was over a $200,000 project that was paid for through CPA. This $5,700 completes the door and window hardware to historic looking pieces and wraps up the project for now. I provided a number of the perpetual care number for North Burial Ground is at $104,668.66 currently, so there's sufficient funding there to pay for this change order.
That came out of Petrol Care.
It's coming from North Burial Perpetual Care, just transferring it over so he can pay for the different charges that were, the new charges that were made for the gatehouse restoration, which was windows and hardware, door hardware.
Again, this is
He spoke about this
restoration
last
to the actual cemetery, perpetual care of the buildings that are there. On the city side, our budget covers our mowing expenses, pays for the payroll to actually maintain the cemetery. So we're not using perpetual care to cut grass in that cemetery. So I think this is
Question,
yes,
this is North Burial Ground,
correct.
all right, the perpetual care, is that separate from the,
Yeah, this
Oak
is separate
Grove?
from Oak Grove's perpetual care, correct. Yep. So North Burial has its own perpetual
don't
care
agree
account.
with it, but, okay,
You also have perpetual care at other city cemeteries.
Yes, there are a
It's
few
separate on its own.
other,
St. Valentine's and all that other stuff.
there are a few other trust funds
Yep.
for the smaller cemeteries as well as the, a few of the mausoleums in Oak Grove.
All right. All right, do I have a motion to accept this?
Motion.
Second that.
Okay, Commissioner Sylvia made the motion to accept this. Commissioner Farias seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Item B, request from Brian Viana for approval of a Kennedy Park car show at Broadway to be held on May 21st, 2022, between the hours of 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Guys, just state your name, address.
Brian Viana, 1154 South Main Street, Fall River, Mass.
Justin Rakowski, 9 Michael Street, Fall River, Mass.
Thank you. Go ahead, guys.
So on the 21st, we're looking to hold a car show. It'll also be like a recreational event also for kids in the community and stuff like that. That's why we wanted to have it down next to the ice skating rink. We met with John yesterday, matter of fact, and he was in the last meetings that we had upstairs with the mayor. Our concerns, and we wanted to see if get the approval, was using around the rink where we would station the cars around it. If that was an issue, then we would use the parking lot.
The issue with that is we'll lose regular parking for people coming into the park, so we were hoping to go around the pond on the grass area with about 50 to 75 cars. They're all gonna be light cars, so there's not gonna be an issue with weight. They're all gonna be Volkswagen buggies or the minivans, so there's really nothing.
And then we'd be able to use the inside for just like, for vendors and recreational.
Okay. Are you having any food?
There'll be food trucks,
Food
yes.
trucks, and they're gonna be stationed?
They'll be stationed in the
parking
parking lot, yeah.
is it fundraiser?
No,
No, we are a nonprofit organization.
These are the guys that did all the cornhole tournaments last year in the parks.
Yeah,
Did what? I'm sorry.
The cornhole tournaments.
yeah, we were in
all
8
the city
parks last year.
And they also helped out with the big event at the end of the summer, the big block party.
we threw the event here for Halloween too.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
it was
helped
Halloween
out.
event
And I
upstairs.
think they're also gonna be coming back, I got a call from Councilor Pereira about a month ago or something. I think they wanna be involved since they did the Bash of the Beach, but they ended up moving it here. They wanna do something, but we'll talk about that in the future, maybe something at Kennedy this holiday season.
Yeah, for the
Yes.
Christmas time.
Yep. All right, okay, do we have any questions from any of the commissioners?
Hey, you're gonna need electricity, it says here?
Yes, I met with John yesterday up at Kennedy Park. There is boxes there, so we'll just have to get Chris Hathaway from the city over there to check the electricity, and as far as that, we just gotta run an extension cord over for the DJ. One extension cord at this point.
And how about, you said food trucks, right? So you're not
Yes.
gonna- Obviously, you're not gonna be cooking or anything.
Nope,
Nope, I already gone to Bob Cludier, got all the licensing, all that stuff straightened out. Alina's gonna take care of the safety, we met with safety, and they're gonna take care of the detail and the safety and everything.
We have a form from city, it has all city departments listed on it, and that needs to be signed off on. Any inspections, electrical or fire or whatever.
Board of
So
Health.
you can get that through Ms. Smith. If, as an example, electricity, they inspect it, you're all set. They sign it, the inspector, that type of form. I just have one other question. You said you were a nonprofit. Do you have a 501(c)(3)?
Yes, we do.
Does Ms. Smith have a copy of that?
I'm
can
not
get-
aware at this time, but we can get it to
I
her.
don't, yeah, you need to get, in my opinion, you need to get that in because we make the baseball youth leagues and that are nonprofits, turn them in. So to be fair to everybody, I would expect if you have one, that needs to be turned in to Ms. Smith. I yield.
Any other questions, Commissioners? You guys are gonna have Porta Johns there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, John, do you know if they still have to work with, Board of Health with, regulations and everything?
Do you have a rough number what you might expect for cost? How many?
Well, like I told them upstairs, I mean, obviously, if we're expecting 50, 75 cars, we're already expecting at least 100, 150 people. Obviously, we don't know about traffic that's gonna come down there for the day, you know what I mean? So, it's gonna be a little bit of a rough estimate, but, you know, we'll get as many porta johns as we need to make sure for the safety,
I'm glad that you mentioned that you're gonna be on the outside of the pond instead of inside. I don't have a problem with this proposal. I'll make a motion to grant permission.
I still got some questions.
Okay,
Okay. Give me 1 second.
sorry.
No problem. Porta Johns, like I said, obviously you know you'll need one that's handicap stuff.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
All right. You said that you're gonna have the cars parked in the grass area, not on the pavement?
Of course.
Because the only thing I was gonna say, if it was on the pavement, I would suggest somebody put like at least cardboard or something under the engine hots, so we don't want like oil or something dripping down on the pavement.
Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to go into the grass with it. I think it'd be more suitable. And then we'd still have the pedestrian walkway for the pedestrians to walk around. And if any car had to get out in an emergency situation, they would be able to access the walkway and be able to exit the park.
All right, cool. Any other questions, Commissioners? Okay, and like I
Mr.
said,
Gentlemen, you can find that civic events form that the commissioner is referring to on the city's website. If you go to the park department, click on that, click on forms, and it'll be there. But if you have any questions, I can send it to you. But if you wanted to get a preview of what is actually involved in that form, you can go there. It's on our website.
Thank you.
one other thing, you guys know that you're gonna have to get liability insurance, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
All right, so,
We're good.
you know, then the city has to be a secondary on it
Additional insurance.
for additional insurance and that.
Yeah, I spoke to them, yeah.
Do you have
Everything's all set with it.
you have a rain date in mind? In case,
No, we really don't, kind of talk, because obviously the schedule's still open, people might,
We've been going back and forth with a couple of different organizations in the city, so we've been kind of doing good with the scheduling.
Yep.
We don't want to conflict with no one else in the city with their events. We're trying to work all together this year, and so at this point, we didn't pick a rain date just because of the fact we're trying to let people get a chance at attending with dates.
that's understandable, but I was just concerned that when looking at it, only seeing one date that.
well, because originally we had
If there's a
June,
monsoon that day, I'm
we
sure you're
had
not
May
gonna have it.
21st, June 4th, and then Patty Rigo, I believe, this young lady's back here, it's about June 4th. Because I met with Patty Rigo from Viva Fall River, and we're trying to work our schedules together so that, we don't conflict with each other, and we, do better for the city for the events that we put on. So
appreciate that.
I don't have a rain date. I guess I could come back and request a rain date, if possible.
If you want, you can,
The board can approve it with a rain date, allowing them to pick a rain date as long as it's not conflicting with
Conflicting
anyone
with
else.
anybody
Yeah,
else,
we can have it that way, and
yeah.
Okay.
this
wanna
way
do
they
that,
wouldn't have
guys?
to come back before the board.
Okay.
So, we have a motion to approve this, and then they pick a rain date and work with Ms. Smith, making sure there's no conflicts for a rain date.
Yeah, I'll add that to my motion, the rain date.
Commissioner Sylvia made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That's item B. Item C, request from Brian Viana for approval of a street arts festival to be held at Kennedy Park, Broadway, August 20, 2020, between the hours of 12 p.m. and 6 p.m.
So this event is basically using the same type of structure, but I wanted to use the inside of the ice skating rink for the street artists, because I'm gonna use 8x8 billboards that they're gonna be painting on. Obviously, we'll put down all the tops and everything else, these guys are professional painters, to use that area, so then I can have the, vendors and regular sketch artists and stuff like that. I got all kinds of like superhero characters coming down. I don't know if you ever looked at any type of street art festivals, there's a lot going on. It's kind of like a Mardi Gras type of thing, themed, or Salem during Halloween, so that I'll have characters and other different things with vendors and obviously recreational stuff that we provide for, and any other recreational teams. All I need from the city was electricity from the same area for that. And basically, that was the same thing, food trucks, we'll have to get. Now, in the meeting, we did last year, we did that kickoff, the end of the year block party that you were talking about at Kennedy. So I guess this is gonna be on the same day. So I guess Bobby Bailey is gonna have his basketball championship on the same day. But because of the Holy Ghost situation, everything's gonna be down towards us, down there, that they were suggesting. I don't know what's been said or whatever, but we are, we plan on putting that together down there.
Well, the weekend of the 20th is where they're gonna be setting up. Is they're only setting up that weekend? Because we approved the 2 weekends, one weekend to set up, and the actual
They
feast
set
is.
up the entire week, though.
No, I understand that, but they're not gonna be
No.
setting up near the basketball court.
No, but there's probably a
They
lot of
don't-
in and
they-
out, just,
Yeah,
with a lot of
but
in
they
and
go
out, but you
down
might be
as, they
able
go
to be-
as far as the baseball field,
It's
probably.
mostly up top.
Yeah,
Don't they
it's
park
most
all
of the
their
top.
buses down near the bottom of the park?
But
Well,
that's during the feast. This
Yeah.
is the weekend before
feast
the
would be the
feast.
20-something.
They're
This is the
setting
setup
up,
week.
the feast usually sets up the whole week, starting from the weekend before, until the feast. So this is not gonna conflict with them because the parking's gonna be available. It's, if they were having the event during the weekend, the feast, then nobody's gonna be able to use it because you're gonna have the whole area down there for handicap and parking and everything, and for them to be setting up for the parade and everything.
Yeah, and because of the playgrounds and where they are and our recreational teams and stuff like that, it's suitable so families and kids, they can get involved and interact with us instead of trying to cross the street and going up like they did last year. So we're doing everything that we basically did up there, down at the bottom.
And by recreational team, it's face painting, arts and crafts for the kids. It's
Yeah, I
all
understand
hands-on
what it
stuff for the
is.
kids,
Yeah.
so it's,
I've been involved in it, I know.
Now, a question, are you guys, since you did the cornhole tournament, are you guys not doing that this year?
No, we're not.
Okay, so I didn't know if you were gonna have anything with the cornhole involved down here.
well, we'll have them set up. If-
Set up just to like for
it-
fun and that?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
no
no
specific
tournament.
tournament or nothing like that, no prizes, no,
Okay,
but we will set it up for the kids as part of the recreational.
okay, and like I said, same thing, same form for this,
All the
Mr. Rocky
approvals,
about-
sign-offs.
All approvals, sign off and everything. And yeah, like I said, I know John had called me that, after the meeting that day about the tops, and I definitely, because we gotta make sure we take care of that pond, is because eventually I think we wanna make that a permanent ice skating rink.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No problem, whatever you guys need.
Okay, no problem. All right, any questions from commissioners?
Again, you're gonna pick a rain date also?
We will.
Yeah, we kind of went with John, because of the Holy Ghost is the following week, it would have to probably be in, September, if we went for a rain date, because there's no way, obviously, they got that all locked
And the
in.
weekend after is probably, the weekend after
And
that
it's
is
Labor Day.
Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
Exactly.
So we're talking like September 10th, 11th, whatever it falls on that schedule.
And the other thing too is, for all, I know a few people are here for different events. The reason why we're not wanting everybody to duplicate their schedules and everything, because we had an incident last year that you had an event that was gonna be scheduled at Corky Row, that we had to cancel because it was gonna get overpopulated, and then they also had the Days of Portugal. There's not enough police officers. They could not get manpower and everything, so
Yeah.
we gotta make sure that the city is safe to be holding all these events, and that's why we probably can't have duplicate events going on the same weekend.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
All right, any other questions from commissioners? Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion
Okay,
to grant permission
okay,
Second,
work with Mr. Smith.
to work with Mr. Smith on this.
Second by Commissioner Farias made that motion, second by Commissioner
Same
Farias.
thing with that vote.
Rigo, excuse me,
Yes.
and seconded by, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you all.
And I'll email you, our 501(c). Thank you.
And if you want, if you don't find it on the website, I can send you that.
Thank you so much.
Right. Item D, Alfred Lambert requests for use of the Quequechan River Trail, Britland Park, Wardell Street for an arts festival to be held on June 4th, 2022. Is anybody here for that?
I'm here to speak for it.
Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Sarah Labossiere, I live at 32 Pembroke Drive in Dartmouth.
Okay.
So, should I start describing, or do you want to ask me questions?
No,
Guys.
start describing.
Just because she lives in Dartmouth.
Oh, we have to motion the rule, waive the rules.
Second.
Motion to waive the rules.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Silva made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Rego. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Even though
Sorry
she
about-
does.
I work here, yeah, but.
work
Yeah.
for the city,
Sorry.
just in
No
case.
problem, no problem.
you.
Sorry about that.
So we're requesting to use, Al tells me it's the eastern side. I didn't look at the map to make sure. He wants to make sure that I tell you all that it's not going to interfere with the soccer fields or any practice or games. But, so he's calling it the eastern side of Britland Park, so the grassy area near the boat ramp. And we want to set up tables for interactive and informative displays. The festival the theme will be natural history, so we'll have a lot of, Taunton River Watershed Alliance and the Bioreserve, and we're hoping the Water Department will put together a display. Some activities for children, the river rocks, we're gonna ask them. Leaf printing, bubbles, a bubble maker puppeteer guy that we had a couple years ago that we like. There'll be some live music. Let's see, we'll have a tent. Al wrote the letter, and then we kind of talked about it and reformed a little bit, so just to, he used the word dance band. I'm not, just so you don't get it's South Coast Brass Band and like a folk music band. It's not a heavy dance music, I don't believe. And the tent, he also said the tent will be used for the band. It may also be used for the tables in case of rain. I don't believe we're really well prepared to have a rain date, but if you want to approve that, if that's easier, then it might work out, but it's gonna be really hard to change the date. Let's see, the festival itself will go from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and we're requesting he also wrote 12 to 5, so an hour before, an hour after to set up and tear down. I was thinking maybe 2 hours before. It's a lot of setup, but, so that's an,
So you're looking at
modification. 11.
11 o'clock?
11 to 5.
11 to 7?
5
6,
p.m.
6, oh, 5. Okay.
Yeah,
Tear down is always easier.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
And I believe that also includes the bathrooms, and there's a fee, so I'm not sure if that's what the fee is for or what that's about, but we're requesting that the bathrooms be open.
The fee is actually a park fee. The
Okay.
bathrooms, we'd have to work out whether it was gonna be a gentleman from the park department paid overtime or how
Okay,
that
that's
was gonna
something
work.
separate.
That would be
Okay.
something we
Good,
would
thank you.
work out with you
Thank
and
you.
let you know what the final cost would be.
Okay, no problem. And also, it will include an off-site, off of Britland Park site, bike event prior to the festival, where we're gonna give away helmets, decorate bikes, and lead any children that show up for that part along the rail trail to Britland Park. So just so you're aware of that, it's not, I know Park Board has the rail trail, but it's not in Britland Park, so I don't know how to describe that, and Al didn't put that, I don't think he put that in
So
his
where
thing.
you're looking at is where the grass area, you're looking between Quequechan and the underpass?
I think it's down near the police station.
Yeah, behind the
Yeah,
police
yeah, behind
station,
the police
yeah.
station. All right, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that
We
area.
had that one, he had that once a year.
Yes.
2 years ago, Al had one like that.
Yes, we're modeling it after that,
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
hoping.
All
We
right.
were planning it for 2020, but,
All right.
Do you know where
COVID.
on the rail trail you're gonna do your bike thing? 'Cause
Um,
they are in charge of that.
Yeah, pretty close to where it ends. In the past, he wrote,
Like Quequechan, where they can come in to Britland by the back end?
yeah, there's a parking lot that we have set aside, but we're gonna seek permission to be on the trail side, so we don't have to cross that street. On the Westport side of Brayton Avenue, though. So we probably will have to have police detail and all that.
Crossing Brayton Avenue,
Yeah, I know.
Other thing I had was the tent. We talking
Yes.
about pop-up tent?
There will be pop-up tents for like, the ultimate idea is to have pop-up tents for the tables, and the larger tent that we're going to rent would be for the bands and maybe some activities and performers, and if it's sunny and people need to get
And
out.
we're gonna stake this in grass area, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All
yes.
right. I just don't want to get staked into the trail or anything.
No, no, no.
Okay.
No. And we're hoping to have food trucks as well, but, you know, pending their availability and all that.
Okay.
And I've already talked to the inspectors about that.
And the food trucks would have to be in the parking lot at Berlin, right?
I guess if that's a requirement, yes.
Yeah, we
And
didn't want them anywhere else.
we don't want them on the.
Right, John?
There will be nothing on the grass.
Food
No
trucks,
food
we
truck
wouldn't
on
want any
grass,
food
right?
trucks in anywhere else other than the parking lot at Berlin, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
They're kind of independent anyway,
Yep.
just have it available for people and
Yep.
since it kind of goes through that
They
time.
all have to be licensed too.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, they have to work with the Board of Health and that. Okay, any other questions, commissioners? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Okay, Commissioner Rego made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Oops. Hey. Item E, request from Alicia Powell for the use of Kennedy Park Pavilion area at Broadway for Juneteenth celebration on Saturday, June 18th, 2022. Come on down. State your name and address, please.
Alicia Powell, 22 Buffington Street, Oliver, Mass. 02721.
And we know Ms. Powell had this event last year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this will be a second annual or third annual? Well, first-
Second and
yeah.
official. Second official.
Yep, second official. Okay, go ahead.
So as you stated, this is the second official. The plan is to replicate last year with a little more organization, live concert, free food. I do plan on having food trucks this year. That will show up. I don't know if you guys know that it didn't show up last year, but that will show up. I am connecting with a lot of other organizations like Ryan Vienna's to create recreational activities for family fun activities. There will be vendors there. And pretty much that's the basics of it. I plan on having a panel, but I haven't set that up yet. Everybody hasn't confirmed. I want to make sure I do have the date and going forward before I solidify anybody on this day. So I will say I think I put from 12 to 8. But in hindsight, I think that's still a long time. Maybe we could shorten that.
What time was it from?
Last year it was 11 to 5.
11 to 5?
But
We're looking at what time now?
I think we do need another hour or so,
So 11 to
So
6?
11:06.
if possible, yes. With setup and breakdown.
Oh, was
So,
it Saturday or Sunday? There was a confusion.
The first email did say Sunday, but then I realized the 18th is a Sunday, it's a Saturday, so I want the Saturday, and I was hoping that I can use the rain date for the Sunday, because Juneteenth is technically on the Sunday, but I just felt like Saturday would be better for the community.
okay.
I do have self-service for the food, because we are gonna give free food away, via Grill. People Incorporated donated last year, with the cook, licensed cook. And I will have live music performance.
How do we do that with the live grill?
They're gonna have to go, well, the
Fire department? and
Fire
everything?
fire department and the health department, again, they're gonna have the sign-off form like everyone else has.
They have to
from
have
the-
insurance.
Yes, we did that last year.
You're gonna need electricity.
Well, last year we used the generator. We had a generator of our own, so we didn't use the city's power at all. I don't think there is a power source in that area, I'm not
There's
sure.
only one power source in that area, it's near the playground, and it's just a two-pronged plug like you have in your.
I don't need it. We can use the generator, thank you. We can use the generator,
Alright.
for the DJ.
The only thing I would recommend, if we do have that grill, I would want it on pavement. I want it like near the parking lot area with a
Normally
food
it's a
truck.
rented grill, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, they're saying they're getting it from People Incorporated.
Right.
No, we didn't get the grill from,
Oh,
we got the food from
oh,
them.
food from- okay.
The grill came
Yeah.
from Corky Road, but it's
Okay.
it did get inspected by the fire department and
Okay.
signed off on prior to the event
Right.
happening.
Yeah, I just don't want nothing near any trees or shrubbery or anything like that. I would
We can
want
put it
that-
on the pavement.
I want it on pavement and everything where the other food is. That way, it's safer that way. God forbid something happens.
I understand
Well, I
that.
think when they put a grill, they have, the fire department makes them tape off and rope off a certain area to keep kids away from it, or whatever.
We
So
had
it's
it
like
on
that.
the side of the actual pavilion, but, and that was, I believe that was grass. But it's not an issue to move it to the other side and then maybe just swap, because we had the porta potties next to the
No, what
parking
you're
lot.
talking about, was it on the right side of the pavilion?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem. And if the fire department is good with the location, they're the guys that are gonna have to come put the fire.
Yeah, well, we don't want a pavilion going down either.
No.
I don't have a problem switching it, because actually we wanted the porta potties on the opposite side, because it was just like, it was opposite, so what you're saying makes sense, is what I'm saying.
Whatever. She's gonna say.
All right, just where's Mr. Smith with the checkoff list and everything and all the department heads and that. Any questions from commissioners? I just have a couple of concerns. I watched I wasn't able to attend it last year, but I know I watched it and seeing everything in it. The only couple of complaints that a couple of residents or citizens had told me about, it's a family event. We're trying to do something positive here in the community and everything for Juneteenth and everything. The music. Try to tell your artists no profanity.
That's gonna be completely different.
Yep.
I had someone else vetting it, and because it happened so quickly, I didn't get to see it myself, and we had already had them on the flyers and everything else, so that will be changed, I agree. I do want
And
it
the same thing
community-based.
with like, and same thing with like, any like vulgarity towards police or anything like that. Like,
Yeah, there was
I'm just
no,
saying, some hip hop rap goes that way and that, so.
well, this isn't even gonna be a hip-hop
Okay.
rap, this is,
Okay.
the music's gonna be pertaining to the occasion
Okay.
itself.
And then, one other thing is, I know it's legal in Massachusetts, but please, some people said there was marijuana being smoked either in cars or off to
I
the side
really
of
have no
that.
control of that, sir. I
Just-
can't walk
I know,
around.
but-
I mean, I can walk around and
If
say,
it's any
please
of your
don't.
performers or anything, please tell them, leave the park area,
Okay,
okay? Just respect the rules and that, because we're trying to make this family-friendly events and that, so,
absolutely.
thank you. Any other questions, commissioners? Okay, do I have a motion
I'll
to
make a motion to
approve?
approve this.
I'll second.
And with the rain date on the Sunday, the 19th?
The rain date on the Sunday, the 19th.
Yes.
I do have one question.
Yes.
So I don't know what I have to do because a lot of people want to do a peaceful walk from here to the park prior and then enjoy the festivities. Do I have to go through you guys? I don't know where
No.
to
I
start
think you have to
there.
go through the mayor's office for, I think they might call it a parade permit.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm not really sure,
Yep.
but I would check with Elena Padid
okay.
in the mayor's office, because I
If-
think that's what you would need.
If I can remember when I used to be auxiliary police, was, if it was events that went Monday through Saturday, I believe it went through the police department. But if it's a Sunday permit, it has to go through the mayor's office.
Who do I ask this? Where would I start first?
I would speak with Elena, she'll be
Yeah,
able to point you in
contact
the right
her and then,
direction.
yeah. And then if you have to go through the police department, because you're gonna need them to block off streets and everything.
But I don't have to come back to you guys?
No.
Okay,
No, the permit that has nothing to do with us.
good to know, thank you.
You're welcome. So, motion made by Commissioner Farias with a rain date of the 19th of June. Seconded by Commissioner Sylvia. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you guys.
Thank you, you're welcome. Item F, request from Brad Buston regarding the use of bicentennial tennis courts, Duval Street, and North Park Senior League Baseball Field, President Avenue, for the 2022 Durfee High School tennis and baseball seasons. I know he's not here, but I know I spoke with Mrs. Smith and that about this. They're gonna be putting the money in again for the baseball field. to do the upkeep and everything, and use their own manpower and everything to keep that field in line and everything for the thing. So I would like to have a motion that since Durfee is contributing into this and using the school department personnel to keep that field is gonna be exclusive for Durfee.
Are they, they're redoing a baseball field, right?
They are,
Under
but
the plans of the new school?
they are, but the problem is that's gonna be strictly for senior. That's for varsity.
Yeah.
There is no, they still don't have a junior varsity field.
Or freshmen. This
All
is for
freshmen.
freshmen and JV.
So that's why they're gonna use North Park for the foreseeable future right now for
Do they have any intentions of having a freshman JV field?
not probably at the school, because it looks like they only have enough room to put tennis courts
So
in.
this may become a yearly event.
My understanding, Commissioner, from Brad Buston, is they were looking into some land at the Talbot Middle School to possibly somewhere down the road make a field. However, we all know that the wheels of progress turn a little slower, so this may be for the foreseeable couple of years going forward.
I don't have an issue, I just was, have that question in my mind.
But we can't, our guys can't line it every day, can't prepare
No,
it.
no, I
so
understand that.
His guys are gonna go in there and do that.
And that's great. Does he have a schedule yet?
I believe he may have be putting it together now, it wasn't finalized, he did say he would send it to me as soon as, they're looking to start mid-March, so I'm sure he's putting the finishing
Yeah,
touches on it
practice
right
will
now.
start in mid-March and
Yep.
go to the end of May, probably. And how about the tennis courts? Is there plans to put
See, how can you
tennis
use
courts at
baseball?
the school?
They are, but obviously they're knocking down, those tennis courts are gonna go where the school is coming down. So that's you're talking another year. They're still just taking down the school still.
Again, just a concern.
No, and that's
No,
what, that was,
I'm-
that was always the game plan, they had always said that to the public, that once that school came down, then they would replicate the new tennis courts there, and then they're gonna put an all-purpose field, but it's not an actual baseball field, and it's an all-purpose
Yeah,
field,
it's gonna
so
have
it's gonna be
multi-uses.
used. Exactly. So,
Again, it's not it's not an objection, it's just looking for information. That's all.
yep.
Right now, there is no league that utilizes that senior field, so
Yeah.
it's almost good that they are playing on it, because it kinda keeps it,
Yeah,
from growing over, so
Yeah.
it is a good situation at this
I
point.
get it, believe me.
All
I'll
right.
make a motion to grant permission
Yep.
for the baseball and the tennis courts.
I just want to make that motion that we, like I said, at least for the baseball field, since Durfee is going to be keeping the upkeep, that we make a motion, amend that motion that it's strictly for Durfee, no one else will be using that field.
Is it, can I ask for clarification? Is it just during the season?
During the season,
So like
yes.
through June or whatever,
Yes,
for the
during the
playoffs or
season.
whatever?
And I just, maybe Ms. Smith can answer this. As far as the tennis courts, obviously there's several tennis courts at Bicentennial. Are they looking for all of them on those days, or a couple of them, or?
I've spoken
you
to
specify?
Mr. Buston, I believe they're gonna leave one court available when they can. If no one's there to use it, they're able to utilize all 4 courts, and probably will utilize 4 on match days. But on their practice days, we have spoken about him leaving 1 court open for the public when at all possible, like if there's someone waiting, if they can utilize just 3 for the practice.
I had a question, are you all set?
Yep, okay.
I had a question, talking about them tennis courts down there. One of them, did we ever turn one of them into a pickleball court? We were supposed to be lining that.
No, we got a price, I believe, we got a price for that, but I don't, I believe the people have turned it into a pickleball court for us.
Yeah, they sell actual pickleball tips where you can kind of put out markers and put up your own net, so they've been doing that. We haven't permanently lined anything through the department yet.
I'm just wondering if that's gonna be in the way of Durfee, if they have to utilize that.
No, so even if they mark the courts, it's still distinctive as a tennis court.
And I believe they were already marked last year with that,
Yeah.
and Durfee used them, so I think if Durfee had an issue with it, they would have let us know. So
Now,
that may be the court that they leave open to the
Could be.
public.
Could
now,
be.
like you said, that they'll leave it if it's acceptable, if they have to, leave them open if there's, anybody down there, but if they need all of them, they have the strict rights, right? If they have the permit.
That's the will of this board.
I would assume that, like a baseball league, under those certain times, we're granting them the permit, that they would have the right to use, you know, those courts, and
I'm just saying, because I know we had some people from out of town that wanted the pickleball, and I just don't want them
that's why I
getting in
brought up about how many
a
courts
shouting
they're
match
gonna use.
with the players at Durfee and that over the
Well,
pickleball.
Fall
and
River
tennis.
residents would take precedent
No, I
over
understand that, but-
town, so at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But if you want to do the 4 courts, I think Mr. Buston is just saying, you know, as a courtesy, if it's
Yeah.
something where he's got maybe a few kids didn't show up for practice and he
Right.
could get away with using 3 courts, he doesn't have a problem
Okay.
with leaving the one open. However, if it's something that he needs to utilize all 4, this board can grant it all 4 and leave it up to Mr. Buston to determine whether he wants to relinquish one of those courts.
Now,
The
is
only-
there-
The only way you would wind up in any issues there, like Nancy said earlier about practice is one thing, but if you're having actual matches, you know, you have other schools from different coming to play. So that's, you know, we can't really interfere with that if we're gonna offer them the
No,
permission.
and the other thing is too, now, them tennis, I can't remember right now. There's 2 in
They're
fenced in,
separate.
there's 2 fenced in, and then there's another 2 fenced in. They're not all 4 divided.
That is correct.
And that's what I'm thinking, maybe we're better off closing it off just strictly for Durfee, because I don't think they're gonna be, if they're having a match, having the public or somebody playing on, interfering with that
Right,
match.
and that's pretty much what we're doing. It's a courtesy if he feels like someone's there and it's not gonna interfere with
I'll
him.
make a motion to grant permission for the baseball field
Yep.
and for the tennis courts, with the caveat that they can use all 4 on match days. If it's practice days and someone from the public wishes to use one of the courts, I'm sure Mr. Buston will be accommodating.
The coach, I'm sure Mr. Buston's not there, but the
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And then,
the organization.
the baseball field between, March till.
usually baseball ends in high school, the end of May, and tournaments in June.
I would say June
But
30th will take
JVs
you.
and freshmen don't play in a tournament unless they get promoted
I would
to
say-
I would
varsity.
say June 30th is a safe date,
Yep.
because they're not in school after June 30th,
Yep.
no matter what, so.
Yep.
I would say
So
that's
it's
the
say
safest
from
date.
March, today, March 2nd, until June 30th. The North Park Senior Field is strictly for Durfee High School. Have that motion?
Motion to accept.
I have Sylvia with the motion.
Commissioner Sylvia made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Farias, Commissioner Rego, sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Once I
Okay.
get the finalized schedules, I will forward them to the board.
Thank you. Item G, request from Michaela Brito, Director of Veterans Services, for the use of Bicentennial Park, Vietnam Wall area, Duval Street, on March 25th and September 16th for the events, veterans events and observance.
What's on March 25th?
March 25th.
What
That's
veteran
something
thing
that
is there
they do.
for March 25th? Is there a, this one?
That's the recognition of the Vietnam War.
Okay.
And then you have the September 16th is also the, can't think of it right now.
It's in September.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's just an observation.
I know when we had, any questions or concerns from commissioners?
Excuse me?
Any questions or concerns from commissioners on that?
Not at all.
I know they do a wonderful job down there, the veterans
Yeah.
and everything. A few of us went down there when it was the dedication of the memorial wall and everything. The only suggestion I would recommend is, Mr. Perry, if we can work either with traffic or with your department, DCM.
Parking.
Parking, because I know it's tough for the veterans and that, but maybe we can get the shuttle buses or something working for them that day. I don't think it looks good having all vehicles parked on that grass.
I will reach out to Ms. Brito and start that conversation, absolutely.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Farias made the motion, seconded by Commissioner Sylvia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item H and K we already did.
Aye.
Item I, field permit information update. Update regarding lack of submittal to date for the required information to obtain field permits.
Are we lack on that?
Well, they're rolling in now. When we first discussed this last week, there was
There's like three of them.
quite a few missing, but a lot of them are coming in now. They are still having registrations, so that's an issue where a few of them have called me about it. I just think the board needs to probably say, March 15th as a firm date. What we have here, we're gonna work with, and between the 15th and our April meeting, the chairman or John and I can all review them and see, which permits are gonna be given out, and at that point, you need to have your stuff in, and we will award them at that April meeting. Many of these leagues are set to start first week of April, so they'll be definitely, if you can open up your event and, your season, then you should have all of these things in place. So I think by putting that March 15th in place, the board will be in decent shape to be able to make this. I have a lot of the youth leagues, the adult leagues, some of them are missing, so I did put out a reminder, which kind of kickstarted a lot of them coming in. After this meeting, I will send out another reminder stating that the 15th is the ultimate deadline for us to consider them. If not, they would have to go in between, whoever was on those fields. We'll work around it.
I agree there.
So it's entirely up to the board if you want to make that motion of the 15th. That will,
How does the board feel?
So from April 15th or?
No, March 15th.
no, they need the information to be into our office. We originally gave them a deadline of March 1st. That may be a little bit, some of them didn't have the information, they did reach out, but I think by the 15th, if you're gonna start your league on the first week of April, you should have most of what you need in place.
I'll make a motion that.
Well, before we make a motion, any questions?
I agree with Ms. Smith. We go through this every year. And every year we try and set up parameters and deadlines to get them to, move the ball along. And, we discussed this the last couple of meetings. People from leagues were here. And I know Ms. Smith sends out notices to them in the mail, and they get them. So, and this is only my opinion. I agree with the March 15th deadline. If you don't get your stuff in by March 15th, you're starting 2 weeks later. You're gonna be practicing during those 2 weeks, so your league is operational. If you can't get your stuff in by that deadline, which is being extended maybe by this board by 2 more weeks, then I'm sorry, I apologize, but I won't vote for a permit for a league that can't get their paperwork in. Every year it's the same thing, years and years and years we go through this.
Okay. Any other commissioners, questions, concerns? So Commissioner Farias was making that motion for
March 15th.
March
Make
15th
sure
deadline,
that
strict deadline. If they
Yes.
don't have it, they're gonna have to deal with getting a permit somewhere else. Commissioner Rego, you're seconding that?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Item J, North Park, President Avenue, updates regarding status of the project proposal for the use of the state funds secured through State Representative Carol Viola's office. Mr. Perry.
So yeah, we wanted to put this on the agenda just to give the board an update, make sure that we keep you informed as to where we stand with this. Obviously, we appreciate State Rep Viola's office and their work to get us these funds and secure them. This information for this particular piece is regarding the $125,000 that was secured by State Rep Viola's office for the first round of funding for North Park. And with that $125,000, we're looking at, and you'll see, we'll have another discussion on the last item on your packet.
Item L.
Yep, but the intent is to look at the skating pond area in the, I would say that would be the northwest corner of the park, or
The Hood
northwest.
Street area.
Right, the Hood Street area, so we'll be looking to resurface the pond, take a look at the infrastructure as far as the drainage and the fill pipes, and redo the walkway coming from Hood Street to access that area. So if we're gonna redo that area, we wanna make sure that people can access it and enjoy it. So that's the base idea of what we'd like to do with the funds, and right now it's in the architect's hands. And again, as I said, we'll discuss that a little more when we get to that last item.
Now, I'm sure we have money enough, because I know we only have so much money for this.
Correct.
We have money in our budget to maybe put some new benches around that area and that if need be.
So when Ms. Smith and myself met with the architect on site, we looked at the project, and another piece of that I left out was some landscaping, right? So to clean up that wooded area around the pond, open it up, make it, you know, there's a lot of things we'd like to do there. And, you know, although $125,000 to all of us is an extreme amount of money. When you talk construction costs, it's not all that much. So we're gonna take a look at what the architect proposes for us, and then we will whittle that wish list down to what we can fit within the $125,000. And whatever we take off of that will be basically geared, you know, whatever we keep from that proposal will be geared toward getting that fountain to a functional place where people can start to enjoy it again. So like you saw at Kennedy this year where they were out there ice skating, get that area to a nice point where that's another amenity within that park that we bring back to life.
Now, the other thing too, what about proper lighting over there?
So that's also going to be included. That was something we discussed with him. Again, we'll have to look at the proposals. When we were there, there are spotlights there. They may need to be replaced, but there is power to them, and they are there. So we'll look at that as we move forward, but lighting was a consideration.
Maybe in the future, we can do like the Victorian type style lanterns.
Around the fountain,
Around it.
That's something we can definitely look at in the future, sure.
I know that's what I want to do, a nice project up at Kennedy. Eventually, if we get that.
Sure,
A full-fledged skating rink, I would love that, have that lights decorated around there.
Yeah, I know this board has mentioned that, we've talked about that for years, and I know that the mayor's office really enjoys seeing folks out there using these, as well as the councilors, so I think everybody would be in support of something like that.
All right. While we're talking about the updates on this, I just want to bring up, because I know it was brought up in the conversation about this money and that, the compensation. What's the status on that?
I'm sorry?
The compensation?
Oh, the compensation, yes.
I know you spoke with me, but I'd like to
Yep,
speak
it's
with the
been
rest of the
a
board.
challenge getting the original contractor to get there. I spoke to another contractor last week. He did have some mechanical breakdowns with his equipment this week. He did promise me he will be there this week. I'm hoping that he can still get there by Friday. If not, at the latest, he'll be there either Saturday or Monday, but I have engaged another contractor to get that taken down. Absolutely.
All right.
And just so everybody's aware, that is separate from
No, I
this
know.
project.
I just
yeah.
wanna keep the
Yep.
rest of the board,
Yep.
so that way they're not
I wanna
in the
say
dark,
publicly,
and
so-
anybody knows that they know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Perry.
Yes, sir.
All right. Item L, approval of agreement with Stock Architects for the ball field upgrade project at Kennedy Park Baseball Field, Middle Street, with the amount of $20,500 in the North Park Skating Pond Area Improvement Project, Hood Street, in the amount of $36,500. So, just to let all the commissioners know, this is the Kennedy Park Senior Field, correct?
Yes.
Correct. Correct.
And they were talking the backstop.
Yep, and basically what we're looking at with this item is just the board's approval to move forward with those two projects, that you feel that those are worthwhile projects that we want to continue to move forward with. As we just discussed with North Park, it's already in the architect's hands for design. And then with the Kennedy, we met with him the same day, and to put that design together so we can look at how we're going to repair and improve that backstop. So we're just looking for a motion to approve these projects to move forward.
Backstop and dugouts as well.
Fencing, correct.
How
And,
about-
and this money's already been earmarked in the park department's budget.
Would that include, like after the dugout, there's another maybe 24 feet?
Yeah,
of
the total
fencing?
fencing.
All
Yep, all of the fencing, yep. And
New
the,
players'
the-
benches, similar to the project at Shoe, I
Yeah.
believe.
Right.
Same thing.
Right.
It's more visual. You can, when you look at that one, you know that's what we're looking to do over there.
correct.
All right, do I have a motion
I'll
to
make a motion to,
approve both projects?
Second.
Move them forward.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Farias made that motion to approve both projects, move them forward for the North Park skating pond area and the upgrades at Kennedy Park Senior Field, baseball field. Commissioner Sylvia seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Commissioner inquiries. Any commissioner inquiries? Any?
I just have an update for the board on the Maplewood lighting project. I got two, the board awarded the information with Stock Architect. We met. I spoke with him today. Again, he had someone out there looking at pole locations to secure those pole locations. He has a conference call with the lighting supplier next week. And I asked, ballpark of when the bids may be available. He said sometime in April. The kicker to this project, again, is lead time. Once they get it all worked out, it's the lead time on the lights actually coming in. So he did say he's hoping the bids are out by April, so just so the board knows that, and the CPA, Victor can let the CPA know that the project is moving along.
If I may.
Commissioner, Mr. Perry, sorry.
Thank you. No, don't be sorry. I just wanted to make a suggestion along the lines of what we discussed when Attorney Rumsey was here, to hopefully, quell the open meeting law complaints going forward. As tonight, I saw several folks come up. I didn't see any exhibits. All I would say is maybe the board can add to their motions, if there is an exhibit, that I make a motion to approve or disapprove, and that this particular document be added to the minutes. And in that way, it's open, it's public, it's stated for the record, and it's clear that whatever's in front of us is a document that needs to be put. And just a suggestion, I think it might make it a little easier, and it's up front and shows everybody, transparency.
And the thing is, I even had Mrs. Smith make sure that she'll let you know if I didn't tell her this, but I made sure she put all addresses and everything down. Not the actual physical number, but at least if it was Kennedy Park, they're looking at the Broadway area, I said put Broadway.
Yep.
If it was Kennedy Park up on South Main, then put
Yep.
South Main Street or
And as
vice
Attorney
versa.
Rumsey mentioned when he was here, that first one we did speak about, and as you can see, based on this agenda alone, there is much more, and the last one as well, there is much more information
Into 2
listed.
pages.
It's 2
Right,
pages.
right, so there's much more information listed, which, you know what, is fair, as Attorney Rumsey said. So going forward on the other complaint, I think if we made those motions, and asked the folks when they actually came up here, hey, do you have any documents that are gonna need to be added to our minutes? And then that way, we can always make sure we get a copy of that. from
And that's
them.
what we did with the last
Right.
month's project where the fabric, I made sure that.
Yep.
Just so you
They got
know,
'em into
Mr. Perry, I believe the meeting that he is referring to, the previous meeting, we did have documents, we put them.
Yeah, this
The
isn't-
following one, we didn't.
This
I don't believe
isn't
we had it.
any, I didn't make that statement because I wanted to get into any debate as to whether we have or we haven't. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
maybe if that's a standard way we make our motions going forward, there won't be any question as to whether there was or there wasn't, you know, that's the only reason I say it, not that, Ms. Smith, you may have not put some, I'm not even suggesting that, just so, you know what I mean, I wanna make sure that that's clear. I'm just trying to make sure that we're as transparent as we can be, because not everybody can make it. We still are streaming these meetings, so just to make it easier on us and save everybody a lot of time running around trying to answer open meeting law complaints, if we're as transparent here as we can be, I think we save ourselves some time on the back end of things.
Any other question or inquiries? I got a couple, but any? Okay. Mr. Perry.
Yes.
One is, what's the status where, I know Mr. Patello and Commissioner Sylvia, do we ever take care of Kennedy, the sprinklers outside the fence, whatever?
Actually, no, but with the warmer weather coming up now, Commissioner Sylvia is going to get in touch with me, and we're going to meet out there with the contractor together.
Okay.
And whether that's yourself or John, we'll meet out there.
It'll be Mr. Patel.
Right, together between, before the start of the season. Yeah, so we don't want that kicking up again. It's been too long already.
I actually had one more on top of what I had, something else. Last month's meeting, I forgot to mention to everybody, I don't know if you've all been by Columbus, all the brand-new benches are in, so the Columbus Park is fully. The only thing we need to do at Columbus Park, and hopefully that this year we can get it done with either community development or something, is that playground, and Columbus will be completely renovated over the last 8 years, whatever it was.
Sure, yeah.
So I think that's an accomplishment for this board.
I agree.
And prior boards.
I agree, and since you mentioned Columbus, just so you know,
Yep.
those benches that we removed from Columbus have been secured. We've painted them already.
Yep.
We're just waiting for
The
the
ground.
spring to break, so we can install them for you.
Okay. All right, awesome. And that'll be going to the dog park. I believe there's either 4 or 5 of them that will be getting installed there, because this past spring or summer, I had the guys go by there. There was anaerobic chairs that people put plastic ones, and some of them were broken and that, and like, get that out of here before someone gets hurt. And it's not our property, and we don't want someone getting hurt off that, because it's gonna be nothing but problems later. The other thing is, Mr. Perry, the reason why I bring this up is because your department was mentioned. Commissioner Farrier sits on the CPA board. We had someone go there, an adult league go there for lighting for Father Kelly.
Okay.
And mention one of the other commissioners there, asked the question of the upkeep of the lights and everything, and the individual stated that, well, DCM will be taking care of these lights and that.
Yeah, so,
So I think you need to address that and
Certainly.
put that to the record, to the CPA, that we do not take care of adult leagues and everything, and plus, per profit league. And then he also mentioned in that meeting, if you want to watch it, it's on, the Florida Government Access
Sure.
Channel and everything, that former President Ponte, when they talked about the lighting and that, us paying, the city taking over the electric bill and that, well, they were included. Then again, they mentioned youth leagues that the city would pay for, not adult for-profit leagues. So just
Agreed.
so the CPA knows
Okay.
exactly what happened,
Sure.
how all the votes went down and everything.
Sure.
Because your department's getting brought into conversations, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to you that you've never stated at our prior meetings and everything too, that it was stated that you were gonna take care of that with bucket trucks and put up nets with bucket trucks and that.
Yeah, no.
You never stated that.
no, I appreciate the heads up on that. I will address it. Obviously, I think all of you know I'm always more than willing to help, but I can't make promises that I can't keep, and I try not to do that if at all costs. So I will address that with the proper individual. Thank you.
Yep,
I
you're
appreciate that.
No problem. Any other commission inquiries? Okay, I think everybody, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Same.
Everybody.
Stay safe.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Sylvia made the motion to adjourn. Seconded by Commissioner Regal. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Good night, guys.